Oh, thank you.
Hey everyone! Before we get this episode started, also, I wanted to sound like a YouTuber, that's why I started off with, hey everyone, like, subscribe below. You know how YouTubers are. Okay, but before we get started, I want y'all to know we are going extra big with the All-Star season of Vulnerability Time podcast. So, guess what? We got video podcast. So, click in the episode description below if you wish to watch the video of the podcast as well. It'll be a YouTube link, so you can go ahead and get it going and get watching it. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe below. Such a YouTuber, right? Anyways, folks, enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Vulnerability Time All-Star Season. With us, we have All-Star Anton. Anton's back. So, today, Anton, we're going to be talking about the art of letting go and whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah. What does it mean to let it go?
Right? And then it's like that art aspect. But for folks who are just now tuning into the All-Star season, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're like, a anti-porn advocate and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Anton. I live in Sweden. I am an anti-porn advocate, recovering porn addict, and also struggling with some video game addiction.
Yeah.
And I've been struggling with my porn addiction since I was probably around 13, perhaps even longer. I'm not really sure. And likewise with video games has also been a struggle, but trying to learn to manage it, manage it better. Been having a rough patch recently.
Yeah.
I was having a relapse, unfortunately, which sucked. Made it. I thought I had kind of moved on a bit more, and then reality snuck up on me, and it was a wake-up call that I was a bit too overconfident in myself. I thought I could handle it, but I could not, and it sucked. It affected not only me, it affected my fiance and people around me.
First off, this is vulnerability time. So of course, thank you for being vulnerable. Same here, Anton. Same here. I have been in relapse for maybe 3-4 months now. Oh, I watched porn this morning. It was now this is the thing. A lot of the times I don't really use it for a coping mechanism. A lot of the times, still sometimes, this is one of the times it was a coping mechanism. And I just stopped caring. Usually it's because I'm bored and it's just I don't know what else to do but do that, even though I'm not even tempted with it. Yeah, and so it's hard for me to let go of that. And then that whole aspect of the art of letting go is how how art starts, it's never perfect at first. And it's for example, really famous artists, there's a lot of pieces that they have painted that they didn't like the first or second or third way that they have painted it.
Yeah.
And it took multiple tries to get the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. There's that art in it where it's just like, okay, like it's not gonna be instant. And I don't know, I'm trying to also encourage myself. And okay, let me say this. The art of letting go, obviously, to folks listening, it can pertain to a lot of things. That whole principle of the art of letting go. Um, but between me and you, Anton, honestly, like, if I'm being honest with you,
Yeah.
a part of me wants to let go of porn, and then a part of
Yeah.
me doesn't. I feel like I'm gonna miss it too much. I am in that. I had a moment today and yesterday because I haven't done webcam in a while, in like
Mm.
months. And by months, I mean like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Um, I.
We'll round it up. It's okay.
Huh?
We'll round it up. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I had this. I had a moment. I'm trying not to beat myself up, but it's hard for me to let go. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Like in that area, it's hard for me to let go because I had a moment that though I have not done webcam in like a month and a half, almost 2 months now, I I had a moment where I wish that I had the videos saved because like I record a lot of the sessions.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's horrible. I just
No,
I've never
that's
said that like in that way. Like I use literally a different word than sessions, but that's what it is. It's
yeah.
vulnerability. Ooh, this is
Yeah.
different. Now that like people can see my face. Woof. Well, vulnerability
Yeah.
time, folks.
Yeah.
We
Big step.
hmm.
It's a big step.
Yeah.
But I think it's very brave of you to be able to share and be
You too,
vulnerable.
Anton. You too. Because that's the thing, Anton. Porn is too much of an addiction for us to
Yeah.
continue to be silent about it. Like, that thing in silence is just wreaking havoc on us, and it's just like people are, we're like taught to be scared to talk about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
honestly, that is one of the best ways to conquer it is by
Talking about it. Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah. That was my problem. Why I relapsed.
Same.
I it started like it's always like a slippery slope. It starts small and it escalates. And
Yeah.
I thought I had a handle on it. And I just have stupid excuses like to myself to justify it. It's like, yeah, but it's not that bad. I reported the account. I reported the thing. I reported the video. I hid the account. Whatever. It's like I only looked it up to be able to block it because I don't want it. And like, it's so stupid because I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna suck. I know the longer I kept it to myself instead of speaking out, like asking for help, telling people around me that like, hey, I'm having like a struggle moment. Instead of doing that, I was thinking that I could handle it on my own, and I can't. Like you said, it's too much of an addiction. It's too much of a thing to be able to conquer alone, and it thrives on shame. It wants us to retreat back. Like that's how it gets us.
Yeah.
Forces us to retreat inwards, and when we don't speak to people, we act out more.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, oh god. I'm feeling exactly what you just said. Like, I'm literally speechless because I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's refreshing to know that you're not alone. I definitely, that's how this relapse started.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, oh, it's just small. I'll just do it one time or just 2 times, and then that's kind of like how it goes. It's like it slowly like creeps up on you, and then before you know it, it's like it's back.
Yeah,
And
and it's the dumbest excuses like
yeah,
for yourself, and you know exactly what you're doing every
right.
time, but you've already like you have already gone there. So you're like,
Yeah, you're already like dedicated and committed to doing it. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. When you've been, you're so
How does relapsing? How does that for because I know me, like I'm beyond the point of like I feel extremely bad about it because I wish I felt I wish I was at the point where yeah I feel at least convicted about it, you know, but I'm way past that point because I've kind of like given up hope on myself in that area. So it's just like I'll do it and I won't care. And I'm just like,
mm,
whatever, I'm not getting out of this. It's been this way for this long, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah, kind of just surrendering
yeah.
to the
Mhm.
monster that is addiction.
Yes, 1000%. So I do have a
Yeah.
question.
Mhm.
How does it like, what is like your, how does it feel for you when you go into like you said you had previously went into relapse. By the way, when you had told me, I was so proud of you. That was so encouraging. Anton, I tell you, you be encouraging me, Anton. Um, how did that feel for folks that are listening who are struggling with relapse or feel like they're about to relapse with whatever type of addiction or just going back to a toxic relationship or whatever a relapse may look like? I would like to talk about just like the feelings of relapse so people will know that guess what? You're not alone, folks.
Yeah, so the feeling for me was initially like shame and shock for myself and denial. A lot of denial, thinking that I got this. I can put a lid on it. I don't. This doesn't control me. I have control.
Mm-hmm.
And then the slow realization that I don't have control. And the longer it took, the more shame I felt,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and the more fear I felt that I was eventually going to get caught, because I knew I was going to get caught eventually.
Right.
And I really need, I can't understate how supportive my fiance has been. She she's amazing, and it sucks because this affects her as well.
Right.
And she's actually she caught on that something, she didn't catch me, but she caught on that something was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of led me to open up about it.
Yeah.
And understandably, she got she was disappointed in me,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't, I feel like I don't really deserve the support that she gave me, because we've been through this before,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
she she was really supportive and kind, and she really held back even though she was upset with me. And I don't understand how she feels, because I don't have her feelings, but I I can try to imagine at least the betrayal
Mm-hmm.
she must feel.
Right. Right. That's
So,
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, so just gonna, I really appreciate that she, even though she had all the right, did not become angry at me.
Mm.
But she didn't let me hide either. She confronted me with it,
Right.
which I think was good, like really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh baby, I'm so sorry you're hurt. Everything's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, no, like, you know better. Like, we've been through this. You know better. You have resources. You've been speaking to people. You have listen to books, podcasts, and everything. You know you shouldn't do this. You know it's bad for you.
That's something really interesting that you had mentioned. We feel like we don't deserve that support. And then maybe because we don't deserve it, maybe we're worth the support. Because deserving is earned, worth is just given because there is value in you.
Yeah.
Just as much on your good days is the exact same of value on your bad days. Something my higher power was telling me. I don't know if this helps. This is just like something that I don't know. At least it helped me just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's that like deserving is earned. Worth is just given because there's value. For example, like if there's money on the ground, let's say there's $100 on the ground. What's the currency in Sweden?
$1 is approximately 10 Swedish crowns.
Okay, gotcha. So let's say I have let's say there's $100 on the ground.
Yeah.
And that $100 is ripped up, it's dirty, it's been stomped on, just looks gross. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like it deserves to be $100. I mean, $100 looking like that, but it's still $100, and we can buy $100 worth of items because we give it value, because it is worth it regardless of how ripped it is, how dirty it looks, how stomped on it's been, how neglected it's been. We're still going to give that worth just like that. And I don't know how it works in Sweden, but like here in America, like if a bill is ripped, like a dollar bill, $100 bill, whatever, you can go take it to a bank and they'll give you another one.
Yeah, I think I can do the same.
Yeah, and so it's just like, of course, looking at it, just like, that doesn't deserve $100. You're right, it doesn't. It's worth it. Just as much as it is on its good days, it's still worth that on its bad days. So that's what that's what something that's helped me at least is like, here's deserving and then here's worth. Like worth is just like just better than deserving because it's just like wow, like I'm human. I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna mess up, and it's just like on my good days, obviously I've earned that support and yada yada yada, you know, and I feel like I'm worth the support too. And then on my bad days, I'm like, I don't deserve it and I'm not worth it. And that's what something that I actually just thought about it right now. I combine worth and deserving towards myself, and it's not okay to do that because I'm just like those are two different things. One, deserving can also deserving has another side to it, and it's called shame. It's called shame. There's that flip side to deserving because it's just like deserving is like conditional, and it's like deserving is just saying, oh, I'm gonna applaud for you until you mess up, then I'm like, ooh. But then worth is like, guess what? I'm applauding you, I'm loving you on your bad days, I'm loving you on your good days. Your value does not change in my eyes. And so that's something that. Oh, did you just write that down?
Yeah, just to try and follow along a bit.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all. Sorry, you know I can ramble sometimes.
Oh no, I didn't mean like that. Just to be able to track along.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And to organize my own thoughts. I'm sorry. Please go
No,
on.
Anton, you're fine. I don't care.
Yeah. Now I was just. Would you say like being worth is more maybe you said that.
Unconditional.
Yeah, unconditional. Yeah, you said that.
It's unconditional because it's like the other side of worth. It's value. Like worth. As soon as you mess up, value, just like, guess what, you're still worth it. But then like deserving is like conditional, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's waiting for you to mess up. It's kind of like when people applaud you, and then as soon as you make a mistake, like they just stop clapping. It's like when you're on a pedestal. You know, like you're expected to be perfect. You're expected to be this example because,
Yeah.
you know, that's what gives the applause. It's just how a lot of our societies work. Is we applaud people's success. We don't ever applaud them in their failure. We don't ever like applaud them through their failure. We just look at the success, and I'm like, that's only half of the story. I'm like, the other side of success is failure, because
Yeah.
failures are a precursor to success. There are things that failure can teach us that success could never teach us. Like, for example, like if my porn addiction was just gone as just, I don't know, within like a week of me like ever starting on it, I would not have learned patience for myself. I would not have learned grace for myself. I would not have learned how to allow people to support me, you know,
Yeah.
in a vulnerable state, failures taught me that success wouldn't teach me that. I think that failures serve a purpose and serve a time.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me
Yeah.
feel better a lot of the times, but I think that that is a reality. I think that
Yeah.
that's a reality. I don't know. Would you agree or disagree, or what's your thoughts on that?
Hard, hard to say. I definitely agree with a lot of what you say. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm drawing a little bit of a blank,
Oh yeah,
actually.
no, that's okay. You
Like,
know,
but
don't.
I'm sorry. Like touching a bit on something else you said
Mhm,
about being vulnerable to other people. Like,
mhm.
I know you. I know you have a podcast here where you call the vulnerability time, but like outside of this podcast, and do you find it hard to be vulnerable to people? Because that's one of the strings that I struggle a bit with,
Yeah.
like accepting that I'm not as strong as I think I am,
Yeah.
realizing and accepting that I need help.
Yes, yes. I definitely struggle with vulnerability. I struggle with the aspect of vulnerability called selective vulnerability. Like,
Selective.
there are some, for example, like there are some things that I can easily talk about my past, the abuse
Yeah.
that I've been through. I can easily talk about that. Like I can share every detail about that, no problem. But then when it comes to like webcam, you know, in my eyes and in others' eyes, the webcam is not nearly as bad as the abuse that I've been through. However, and it's just like, yeah, I can selectively be vulnerable in this area, but when it comes to webcam, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like for example, when I first mentioned it and I said the word sessions, and I was like, ugh, I cringed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There are some areas where I'm like, I can be vulnerable, and then I realized I was like, wow, I struggle with selective vulnerability. So that's something that I'm probably gonna work more on, because I tend to heal in layers. I don't get to choose it, but I tend to heal in layers. Like
Yeah.
right now, like I can tell that I can just feel my higher power um, leading me towards healing certain aspects of physical abuse
Yeah.
that I suffer with. And every time I get this feeling, it's gonna happen. The healing's gonna start. Um, but like right now, I'm struggling with selective vulnerability because like I'm not going deeper into what the suffering of physical abuse looks like for me currently in my
Yeah.
life. I'm struggling with selective vulnerability. But it's like I can be vulnerable and tell you, guess what? I've been through this. I've been
Yeah.
through that, you know? Yeah, so I struggle with it. And but this is the cool thing I do like about selective vulnerability is
Yeah.
um it it's a good sign that at least I'm able to be vulnerable. And
Yeah.
even when you're struggling with vulnerability just as a whole, that's also a good sign that there is some resistance. There's resistance for you to grow, and then there's also that resistance of fear. But it's
Yeah.
just like there has to be that willingness to grow in order for there to be resistance. So I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Exactly.
honestly, struggling is a form of success.
Yeah. I mean, if you, there has to be some. If there's something you need to grow from, there's it's bound to be struggle, and struggle has to be overcome. We are to grow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Struggle brings that failure as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, failures are necessary for success.
Yeah.
Necessary. Yeah. I know for y'all listening on the platforms, he pulled out the cat. Look, he has a cat. Oh my god. Is it a she?
It's a he.
He is so cute. Oh my gosh. But folks who are watching this on YouTube, which the episode YouTube link will be in the episode description below, y'all get to see the cat. Oh my god. That just I just lit up watching that. I almost flew to Sweden and stole that cat. That's what almost happened there. I almost
Well,
almost had to.
awesome. Cats are amazing, even though
Cats
he
are
is a little bastard sometimes.
Yeah, man. You know what, Anton? I was at the pet store the other
Yeah.
day. By the other day, I mean like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
I bought some birds and I bought a hamster and I also bought a gecko.
Yeah.
Um, but I felt bad for the gecko being in such a little enclosure. And
Yeah.
so I released it into my backyard, which is literally the biggest backyard in the neighborhood. I'm not even joking, literally,
Yeah.
because our house was the first one built. Um, but this, I don't know. You're not supposed to release domesticated animals. I wasn't thinking that at first. I was
Yeah.
just like, he needs to be set free. And when I was at the pet store, seeing them have him in the gecko in such a small enclosure. Do y'all
Yeah.
have Geico insurance, by the way?
Have what?
Geico insurance.
Okay. What is Geico insurance?
Oh, that's okay. It's an insurance company. So like if you get in a car wreck, the insurance will pay. If you get in like
Oh, just regular insurance?
it's regular insurance. It's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
type of insurance. Yeah, it's one of the insurance companies of the many here. Um, but sometimes I ask it, I was like, oh my god, save me 15% or more on car insurance. Because it's a gecko, and the logo for Geico is an actual gecko because Geico is spelled like gecko. They just
Yeah.
pronounce it differently. Um, Whatever. Just another manipulative insurance company because they make tons of money regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah, don't get me started on that. But anyways, so I released him into the backyard,
Yeah.
and my best friend and my other best friend, they were like, "You're not supposed to do that," and I was like, I wasn't even thinking that, but I knew that he would have water because we got this sprinkler system going on every night.
Yeah.
Food galore, and holes to hide in.
Yeah.
And I see him almost every day outside.
Yeah. He's living his best
Yeah,
little gecko life.
right, exactly. So because I felt so bad. I was like, I'm like, I'm like, he's just such in this small enclosure and he wasn't moving. I was like, that is no. I just was thinking. I was like, do they have mental health? If they do, I got to do something about it.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I've been there. I've seen an animal in a very small enclosure and being like, you shouldn't be in there, little guy.
Right? I just felt
This
so
can't be fun
bad.
for you. There's more to
Right.
this world than this tiny glass box.
Right, yeah, exactly. It was just like tiny ass box. It was just like this big. And so but so when I was at the pet store and I bought birds, there was this cat. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And he was so sweet. Like he was in a glass enclosure, obviously, so people can see him and say, "Oh, I want to adopt him." And everywhere like I went, he would follow me. I would like walk this way and he would walk that way, and I was like,
Oh, that's adorable.
I will break this glass and steal him.
No, yeah, absolutely no hesitation.
No hesitation.
No
I was
hesitation
like,
at all. I will fight the clerks if I have to.
exactly. If I have to catch a court case for this cat, I think it's worth it. If I have to go to jail, hey,
Yeah, it's worth it. The judge will understand.
Exactly. The judge would be like, okay, that cat was way too cute. I understand. You're free to go. And the judge would be like, steal me a cat too. And I was like, say no more. I'll do it.
Say no more. I got you. I get you 2 cats.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I moved back in with my mother until February. I moved out February 2024. But she does not like cats. She doesn't like animals to begin with, but she does not like cats. But I had to get a bird, a hamster, and a gecko. I got 3 birds because I don't go to funerals. I don't do funerals. But when my grandma died in July, I went to the funeral, and I've already died before, so I know there's nothing to. I literally know there's nothing to worry about. But of course, I cried because grieving is a part of love. And it's healthy for us to be able to grieve the loss of something, even the bad things. It's like grieving is that process. So I think that's the thing. I think I skip grieving the loss of webcamming. I think maybe that's part of the reason why I keep coming back to it. Maybe I need to be able to, like, when I'm waiting off of it, to grieve, but to grieve the loss of it, because it's just like, guess what? I mean, it's obviously still bad. However, like, I am going to lose the enjoyment that gives me, for even if the enjoyment's for a second. And I know it's gonna, like, screw me long term and not be good for me. It's just like, you know what? Like, as a part of letting something go that has been with me for so long, I learned the other day ago, and by the other day ago, I mean a year ago, how grieving actually works for and is necessary for the good things and the bad things. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying my grandma was a bad thing. No, she was great. I'm just saying, like, grieving, just loss in general. But anyways, so going to the funerals screw me up. They just do. I went on an existential crisis. I went to the pet store and bought almost every single animal there. Every animal that I could get. I couldn't get a cat because of my mother, but if they had dogs there, I would have gotten a dog. I had to take one of the birds back because he was fighting with the other 2. Well, no, he was actually fighting with the other one, and she's like the queen of the cage, and I was like, as she should be. It's her and 2 males, but I took one of the males back. But they would fight, and it would honestly break my heart because she would protect the little one, and she would also, like, bully the other one who I had to take back. His name is Orange. He was a bluebird, but I named him Orange. but and that's the thing, like, when something has been with us so long, whether it be healthy for us or not, I think a part of the process of releasing, I feel like in a lot of situations, has to require grieving. I'm gonna write that down because maybe that's why I keep going back to you know what, because I don't grieve it, because, like, I'm not doing it for no reason. Like, obviously it gives me some type of excitement, at least sometimes, but it's just I just, like, it's time to,
it feels something.
Say like,
it feels something, even though it's bad and it's empty calories.
Yeah.
basically. It's junk food.
It's junk food. Yeah, right? It's just like,
Yes.
yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, 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 that's fine. But I was gonna say that I agree with you. I definitely think it's important that we try to or allow ourselves to grieve for the bad things
Mhm.
that happened and that
Right.
have
Right.
been part of us as well. Like you said,
Right.
you and me having been addicted to porn
Mhm.
and still struggling with it. It's not it's been part of us for a very long time. And it's not
Yes.
something we can just cut off and leave behind
Right.
us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a struggle and
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard. And it's okay to feel sad or
Yes.
angry or whatever about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that we try to find ways to cope or like
Yeah.
a lot of sources where I seek inspiration is we need to not only try to deal with and handle the addiction, but we also need to try and replace it or find a healthy replacement. Like
Yeah.
we can't just shut off or
Right.
remove
Can't go
something that's
cold
been there.
turkey.
No, we need to do something else because otherwise, like you said, like we feel that emptiness. It's something missing, and we strive to fill that void with something. So we need to have something to do. Yeah, we need to fill it with something, and whatever that is for for you or whoever's listening, it's entirely up to you whether it's you want to start drawing, painting, exercising, just anything, like listening to just blasting music. Whenever that emptiness comes, just find something to try and fill that void or find something to be a healthy replacement. One of my coping mechanisms or help tools that I've gotten recently is, and I need to be honest with myself when I look for this and utilize it, and that is when I start to feel the pull to watch porn or search for something I shouldn't. I
Mhm.
need to watch myself, and if I feel the urge becoming too strong, just pause the music or whatever I'm listening to while it works. Just put everything down and call somebody. Usually my fiance, and we'll just talk about anything. I'll just say, "Hey, I'm having a rough time right now. I like today. I called her from work, and I was like, "Hey, I'm having a bad time." I caught myself on the break. I caught myself watching through the reels, looking for something. Uh,
Yeah.
I shouldn't do that. And then we just talked for 30, 40 minutes. And
Mm.
after that, I felt better. I felt cool. I felt more balanced again.
Yeah. Mm. Bingo. The whole theme of season 1 and season 2, of the podcast was support.
Yeah,
And I believe you came in season 2. But
yeah,
ooh, that word is so necessary. I like what you said, yeah, because it's actually very, very, very unhealthy and dangerous for the body to just stop things like that. Um, a way to truly stop things is to wane off of it.
yeah,
Now, I will say this: I tried that with webcam, and it worked. But well, how about it worked because it lessened when I weighed myself up. I was like, okay. And I'm not saying everybody do this. This is just something I did. I tried because I applied drug addiction, alcohol addiction, other types of addiction, that are more talked about. And I'm like looking at,
Yeah.
how does the body respond to this being slowly tapered down, which is how it's supposed to be just in general. Stopping things like that have been so normal to you, that is very unhealthy. Some people can do it. It's not healthy though. I can eat a burger with tons of grease. It's not healthy though. But it filled up the hunger. But
Yeah.
it still, there's like a but the reason why I stopped doing that is because I felt bad. I felt like I was giving myself an excuse, even though that was the point, was to play both sides of the addiction. Be like, okay, I'm gonna satisfy you while I kill you.
Yeah.
Kill you as in the addiction. That's what
Yeah.
I'm
Slowly gonna
saying.
starve it, basically.
Right. And so it's like, I remember this is how I started it, because I was like really bad. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it once, and I had to do it where it was a challenge. It couldn't
Yeah.
just be, okay, I'm gonna do it 30 times a day for 7 days and then wane off to 29. No.
Mm-hmm.
It was a challenge for me to do 1 to 2 times a day for 7 days straight. So let's do one, for example. I did, because eventually got to this point where I did once a day for 7 days straight, and then next week I did once a day for 6 days straight. Then the other week I did once a day for 5 days straight, and then by the end of that, I was good.
Yeah.
I was good. But that last week is when I started feeling bad. Like, oh, I'm just making excuses to do it. I don't know, like, because it kind of like, because I was allowing myself to do it.
Yeah.
I was allowing myself. I was like, you're gonna do it. Give yourself the grace, Josiah. Do it. Do it. Do it while you kill it.
Yeah.
But it's that half part of just do it. Allow yourself. I'm just like, am I sure? And before you know it, the shame wrapped me right back up.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that if I taper myself off of pornography, that I will see the same results, because now I know how to have, or at least now I have a lot more grace on myself in this area than I had before.
Yeah.
But I still haven't went back to it, and I don't know. But this is what I think, and you know what? I'm just gonna be completely vulnerable. Is because it's so normalized in me now. I don't even see it as bad enough for me to have to go the extra mile. And I'm like, okay, I'll try, whatever, yada yada yada. But even though it is bad, in my mind, my addiction's like, oh, it's not bad enough for you to have to go that extra mile and taper yourself off. Oh no, if you want to stop, just cold turkey it. And it knows that that's just what's gonna wrap me back up in it, is the cold turkey.
Yeah.
So, webcam, I actually purposely got myself banned on webcam.
Yeah.
So that's why I haven't been able to do it for a month and a half, because I purposely got myself banned. I did that on purpose. But the ban doesn't last forever with the multiple services that I do use. The ban does not last forever, unfortunately, and I always seem to know exactly when to come back, exactly when that ban is over. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna the webcam. I'm just gonna, when it does come back, when it does, because I found myself trying to go back on it today. I'm like, when it does come back, I'm gonna start my process again of satisfy it while I kill it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the goal is to just kill it.
Yeah.
It's like, get it done, regardless. So get back into that honestly, because I would say the webcam for sure. No, the webcam I think is bad enough to where I'm like, yeah, I have to go the extra mile. Big, I'm struggling with selective vulnerability right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
Love that.
Listen, I get it. The feeling of wanting to go back. Sometimes just feeling that gnawing sensation in the back of your head. That inner voice that's just like, it's not that bad. You're doing it for this reason. Like, this is the excuse. And if you want to go cold turkey, or if you want to progressively step it down, whatever you do, like whatever works for you, do whatever works for you.
Right.
That's awesome. And I definitely think that doing, like you said, like trying to, was it taper it off? Yeah, tapering it off. Definitely think that that's a valuable strategy, because we're dealing with something that's a very strong like urge in us as people. It's not something that just being able to go cold turkey, it's not easy. When I quit, I managed to go like cold turkey for a bit, for that first year, and a bit and a bit more, until I relapsed this time. So that was quite a while, but now I feel the struggle. It's become more of a struggle.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know.
It's
just
fucking struggle. I hate addiction.
Yeah, me too. I hate. This might be a weird question, but how does the feeling manifest for you, like addiction? Like, what is feeling or sensation? Like, for me, it's just this weird tingles, like feeling restless, like in my head, along my spine, like
I see what you mean.
slight itching. And when I was relapsing, I wasn't satisfying myself to anything. I was just watching it. To watch it.
Right.
And I really hate how that makes me feel. Not only the shame, but also state of mind that it puts me in, because I feel so dizzy and tired and unable to focus. And I hate the feeling of not being able to think. That's what it does to me. Like, it becomes hard to think. It's like walking in a thick mist, or like walking through water or something.
Yeah. Mine is when it's really bad, like when I'm not doing it out of boredom, when I'm like actually like tempted. It's a sensation in my heart. It's like a very like lustful just need. I just feel like my hormones are out of control in that moment. That's what I feel. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? That's definitely what I feel in that moment. For sure. I'm glad that you asked that. And no, it's vulnerability time. Nothing's too deep. Nothing. Literally nothing. Honestly, like if you ask me, like how I'm being selectively vulnerable the past couple statements ago, if you would have asked me, go deeper, I would have had to go deeper. I would have had to. Yeah, so yeah, no, nothing's too deep for this podcast. But yeah, okay, I'm glad that you asked that. That's important, huh? I wonder why those sensations in those specific areas.
Yeah. But just I also, now that you mention, I do recognize that sensation in the chest.
Yeah.
But for me,
Okay.
that was more sensation when I was actively consuming the porn, where I was chasing that lustful sensation in the
Oh yeah, maybe
chest.
that's why I feel. Maybe that's why I go through it because I'm like actively, yeah.
Yeah, I know that was the rush I was chasing,
Mm,
and like any addiction, like the rush becomes harder to achieve.
right.
So then it just becomes the never-ending search.
Yes.
And
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yes. 1,000%. Oh my God. Yes. I'm
mm,
sure so many people can relate to that statement right there. That
yeah,
is the truth. That
yeah.
is the truth.
I one of the things I have a hard time kind of letting go on is feeling like a complete loser and an asshole against people around me because of how much time I was wasting when I was deep in my porn addiction. I could spend an entire weekend in front of the computer, like from that I came home from work on Friday late into Sunday night, just with just a couple of hours of sleep every day, and I would just sit in front
Yeah.
of the computer, and I was doing nothing like of important. I hate that I wasted so much time, and people tried to contact me, and I was just shutting myself off, and I hate that. That's one thing that I have a really hard time to let go off of.
Right.
And also that I somehow thought it would be okay to speak to people that I care about, like talking to them over Discord or texting or talking over the phone, and actively like sit and consume pornography
Right.
at the same time. So
Right.
fucking disrespectful. I hate that.
That's honest. I've done that before. Yeah, that's definitely on. Thank you for sharing that. That is honest. So many people experience that. So many people, do that. It can get bad for sure, for sure. I'm just glad that you have the courage enough to share about it because there's someone out there, listening that definitely needs to hear that because like we said earlier, like we have been taught like what we can and can't talk about.
Mm,
And in a way, it's just like we've been taught what we can and cannot heal from. Because,
mm.
like, honestly, like talking about things like that is a huge healing aspect,
Yeah,
just in general. Oh my God, you taught me a lot. A couple of things that I wrote. One, you reminded me that I'm not alone. You once again
yeah,
encouraged me, of course. And where's that big one that oh yeah, you taught me to grieve every loss, and I underlined the word every and I put it in capital letters.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what I need to like sit and ask myself whenever I get tempted, like, if I don't do this, what do I feel like I'm missing out on? Like, what is that innate things, what are those aspects that I feel like I'm missing out on? And it's those aspects that I need to grieve in order to let them go for in that area. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because I think it's the aspects, the root cause is what I'm meaning that also brings me back.
yeah,
Also brings me back. Yeah. Yeah. Other than my own free will. Other than my own free
yeah,
will, yeah. But I mean, honestly, I don't know, I'd rather start slowly killing than just let
yeah.
it all grow. So, okay. Anton, thank you. Hey, do you have WhatsApp? Are you on WhatsApp?
I am not on WhatsApp.
Okay, okay. I'll just communicate with you through Instagram then.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
fine.
Alrighty, folks, it has been another episode of Vulnerability Time. I am your host, Josias Abril, and we have our all-star special guest, Anton. Y'all love him. I love him. We love him. I love that. It's so cool. Folks, make sure you go check out the video of this. It'll be in the episode description below. Yeah, that's right. We're finally going video as well. So I figured out how to do it. I figured out how to record video. Yay, me. Um, Yes, y'all need to go see the video, and you can see the cat, folks. Go see the cat. Oh, so cute, so cute. Alrighty, folks. See y'all next time.